Back on What's on Your Mind. Once a month on Tuesdays, the Bethany Senior Spotlight, part of our programming. And we're going to talk about today next steps with mom or dad and the questions of, am I ready for assisted living? Joyce Linnerud-Fowler is here. She's a senior executive in housing and assisted living for Bethany Living. How are you doing today, Joyce?
Great. Good morning on this rainy day.
Isn't it, though? Yes, exactly. But I guess it's better than snow.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, we'd had enough of that last week. Yeah. I have lonely snow at home. I took a picture, actually. It's, very weird. Only in North Dakota can have all this green grass and a little patch of snow. You know? Lonely snow. I called it lonely snow. But I hope it's lonely for a long time. Hope it goes away. So let's talk about the very difficult question, one we all know is coming at some point.
Yep.
Right? This is not a surprise, but nonetheless, when it does, you feel just the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're dealing with a loved one. When you think about maybe assisted living would be a better way. What are some benchmarks? How do we know? What are we looking for?
A lot of people kind of talk about, when are we ready? When are you ready for assisted living? And it really can be any time. Assisted living is really meant to be a place where you can go and have friends and things to do and places to get out and do all of those things that are maybe a little bit harder to do on your own at home, or maybe it's just kind of lonely at home. So it provides a great sense of socialization. Plus, if you needed any help with medication or any of those personal care kinds of issues, you can get those in assisted living as well. But you don't have to if you don't need that. So you can be a pretty independent person, or you can be somebody who just needs a little bit of extra help.
So there's different levels, obviously, of care. One of them is basic care. Explain what basic care is.
Correct. Basic care is unique to North Dakota. It's a level of care that was set up by the state to sort of address that need for medical assistance if people have exhausted their resources and need some financial assistance to help cover their cost of care. It also was set up to provide a setting where people can receive memory care outside of a skilled nursing facility. So there's kind of a couple of different purposes for basic care.
So, assisted living, then basic care is sort of the next step, right? I need a little more?
Yep, I think so. I think kind of the idea of basic care and assisted living, I sort of equate it to when you go on vacation, basic care is going to be that all-inclusive resort where everything's included in one price. So if you need some help and whatever you need is included in that one price, where assisted living is going to be like you're going to a hotel and you're adding a couple extra services and you're picking and choosing what you want to purchase separately. So that's sort of how we operate at Bethany. So it makes a couple of good choices.
And when we were making this decision for my mom, we started with the basic care rather than assisted living, just because you folks helped us assess that was what was best needed for her. But I'll never forget being there, sitting on the end of her bed, and she's like, "Don't leave me here." She did not want to go there. But literally within days, she had all these best friends, right?
Yep.
And she would say of the staff, "They take such good care of me."
Yep.
They take such good care of me. So it really gives you that comfort. So the decision-making process and the initial step is tough, but it gets a lot better fast.
Absolutely, yes. And everybody that has come to live with us at Bethany has been that new person. And our staff are so sensitive to that. And the other residents have been there too. So it really becomes kind of people sort of look out for each other and take each other under their wings and really create very, very good friendships.
Yeah, absolutely. What kinds of questions should folks look for when they're, if I come to Bethany and I've got my a parent along and we're looking at assisted living communities, what kind of questions should we be asking as we're touring facilities?
I think there's things that you should ask, and then there's things that you should just look for. So look to see, how are people interacting? How are staff interacting with residents? How are residents interacting with each other? Kind of what's the feel? What's the vibe of the place that you're in? That says an awful lot. And then there's all the basic questions. How much does it cost? Is there any financial help? What kind of services are you going to provide for mom? What's your staff turnover like? All of those kinds of things are important questions to ask. But I think a lot of it has to do with how does it feel and what does it look like when you're there?
Great suggestion on watching how staff interact with the residents.
Oh, for sure.
Huge, because you can get a really good idea of it's some kind of special, the work that is done by people in a senior facility. I mean, it just is. It's just, you're not there because you want to mail it in and get a paycheck.
Exactly, yeah. And there's a lot that we get from this too. It's a absolutely reciprocal relationship between the folks who live there and the folks who work there.
How do you foster that in your staff? How is it that they are, just always up, always on, always there, recognizing who needs a little extra help, who doesn't, and having that, come on, they motivate, but they don't necessarily nag. They're smiling, they're laughing. I mean, that's not easy. That's not easy work. How do you train for that?
I think part of it is choosing a person who is going to have that fit. And then you can teach people to do tasks, but you can't teach somebody their personality or how they interact with other people. And then the other part is just having a really engaged supervisors and engaged folks that are watching and interacting and helping people learn how to do a good job and modeling those same behaviors.
And we're talking today, by the way, with Joyce Linnerud-Fowler, who is the Senior Executive for Housing and Assisted Living at Bethany Living, and talking a little bit about basic care and assisted living and those choices, and when you're touring, what you should look for. Anything else you want our listeners to know?
I have been with Bethany for almost 23 years already. And I think calling and asking questions, and just no question's a dumb question. Every question is something that's very valid. You're talking about your family member, your loved one who is going to be leaving their home and coming into the care of people that you don't know. So ask questions, look.
And also when your loved one is there, that communication continues. I know that
absolutely,
there's care meetings very regularly.
Yes.
You're calling. These people become your family members. They can become extended family because they're caring for your loved one, right?
Right. And even in our assisted living, every resident is assigned a nurse case manager. So they have somebody that's sort of their point of contact that they can ask questions of, that's above and beyond the staff that interact with them on a day-to-day basis.
The programming, the different things that are available, whether it be chapel services or whatever, or games that are being played, or the facilities themselves are really pretty incredible too. Maybe you should put a plug in for that.
Oh my gosh, yes. We have awesome facilities. Both of our locations have on-site restaurants, University Cafe and the 42nd Street Diner. They're open to the public. It gives another great option for people to be able to have food choices that are different than the day-to-day kinds of things. We also do tons of activities. We make good use of that Bethany bus and are out and about at all sorts of stuff, anywhere from casinos to the small town cafes to fall leaf tours and Christmas light tours. Lots and lots of fun going on. So
that really helps too. Things to look forward to, things to participate in, and all of that. Fascinating. Joyce, thanks for the update. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having us come out.
You bet. Joyce Linnerud-Fowler, and the folks at Bethany, happy to have you anytime to take a tour, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just give us a call or check us out on BethanyND.org.
Appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Our monthly chat on senior living issues with our friends at Bethany. We're brought to you